Good morning, everyone. My name is James Terry Blue, Sr. I was born in Elmore, Alabama in 1947, January 4th. At least that's what I was told. I was too young to remember.
Yeah.
I left Alabama at a very young age, according to my family, maybe 6, 7 months old. And my mother and my daddy and my 2 older brothers came here on a train from Alabama. I met Robert in grammar school back in the 60s or 50s. What are we going to?
I was like 59 or 60.
Yeah, close enough. We went to grammar school together. Then we're from the west side of Chicago. He's an implant from the south side of Chicago, coming over to my neighborhood. Because I was bred and, not born, but bred on the west side. Anyway, Robert and I became friends instantly. And we went to grammar school together. Then we went to what they used to call Upper Grade Center for a couple of years. Went to Marshall High School on the west side of Chicago. And we stayed over there a couple of years, and we came back to Marshall to graduate. And we both graduated in '66 in June, I believe it was, right?
Yes.
They had 2 graduations.
I'm Robert Gurley. I was born here in Chicago. I attended Marshall High School. I'm originally from the south side. I moved to the west side in September '59. That's when I ran into this guy at Marshall Grammar School. And we've been together as friends since since '59. When I was in high school as a senior, I used to listen to the news, and everybody, was getting shot up over there. I didn't ever think I would go into the service. So after I graduated, I got this letter saying, come down 615 West Van Buren to be classified. And I'm saying, well, hey, I'll just go down there. I'll be back. And I went down there, and they was talking about, hey, you're not going back home. Take 2 steps forward, I said, no, I got something to do this evening. I can't be going in the Army. So that didn't work. I had to catch, they put us on a bus, took us to Union Station, got us on a train, took us to St. Louis, got us on another bus, took us to Fort Leonard, Missouri, the Army base. And this was in '67. And I did my basic training there in '67, and I did my AIT in Fort Polk, Louisiana. That was supposed to be for Vietnam training, but it was the winter time. Vietnam is hot. And
More ways than one.
Yeah, I trained in the snow for Vietnam. And they gave me a 3-week vacation or pass to go home before I reported to Fort Travis Air Force Base to be shipped to Vietnam. And I went over there for 11 months and 27 days and had quite an experience over there. When I first landed over there in the plane, I'm thinking, wow, we're going to have to jump off this plane running for bunkers and helmets and rifles. And when the plane landed, I looked out the window, and baby son was riding around on bicycles selling pop sandwiches. And I said, what kind of war is this, What we did basically was guarded and protected the engineers who, wore their earmuffs and searched the roads for mines. Every night Charlie get out there and put mines in the road. And the convoy goes through, bringing supplies and ammo or whatever. And we had to protect them, searching the road. When they search the road, they meet up, this section of engineers meet up with this. Now the road's supposed to be clear. Now we set up and wait for the convoy to go through. And we just stayed out there all day until the convoy comes back, you know. And basically that's what I did. When there was no convoy, we went on search and destroy missions. And it was all right, as long as we didn't meet that guy out there. Didn't want to meet him. And
Talking about the time y'all got hit, the helmet.
oh, well, that was funny. You know, they had searched the road for mines, but they must have missed one. It was a small 25-pound mine. So, you know, after they searched the road, we turn around. Now we flying down the road, and you know we sit a certain way on the APC. Everybody got their spot, and you know, there's a guy here. I'm in the middle, and a guy in back of me, and we all got on helmets. And we hit a 25-pound mine that blew up. It blew me into a tree, and it towed the track, towed the wheels up and stuff. And about like 3 car lengths down the road, our helmets, the way we sit on the APC was in the road. Boom, boom, boom. The way we sit, you know. I didn't have a weapon. I'm glad he wasn't out there and didn't open up, because my M16 was under the APC, crushed, all bent up.
Crushed, yeah.
But what was funny is when we looked and seen our helmets. The way we sit, that was our helmets, 1, 2, 3. That was funny. Now they come and they shooting at us from all sides. And we, you know, jumped into the gutter off the side of the road, and we fighting, shooting up in the trees, shooting everywhere. We fought 9.5 hours in train bang. It started getting dark. And see, it get dark, Charlie overrun you. So they said, hey, we pulling out, you know. The APC started moving down the road, slow, you know, giving us a chance to catch up. And I was cemented in that hole in the cut. I didn't want to move. They was talking, you know, the more we pull out, the more he coming closer. Yeah, you know. Yeah. And they said, damn, he's right over there. He's up in the tree. I still didn't want to move. I seen John Wayne. The guy jumped out the gutter, and he was running down the street. I said, you know, just like in the movies. And I said, I can't do that. I didn't want to move. Until they said, they throwing gas. My mask was on the APC. I knew that was it. I had to jump and run. I came up out that hole. I was running so fast that when I caught up, you know, it was a line of APC. When I caught up with mine, I didn't stop quick enough, and bam, I ran right into all that metal. I didn't feel it. Oh, my adrenaline was too high. Now, I went in there, I got my mask. I had to get out, because, see, they shoot RPG at the tank, you know, it'll melt through the steel and blow up.
Rifle grenade.
Yeah, a rocket penetrating grenade, RPG. It will blow up, it'll melt through the steel and blow up when it get to the inside. So I had to hurry and get it out of there. Then I got out and put my mask on, and I was all right. You know, we walking away until we got far enough to jump on the track and get the hell out of there.
Robert got drafted in '67. By him being my mitt, I didn't want to be walking the streets of west side of Chicago where my buddy was gone. So he tricked me. He said he was in the Marine Corps. This is a story. Anyway, I went around looking for some branch of the military to join. I thought I was a little bad, but then they said Army, the Navy, Air Force, you might as well be a civilian. Said, if you're tough, Marine Corps. Hey, that's for me. And I'm looking at these palm trees and that pretty uniform and everything. Well, I found out I wasn't as tough as I thought I was. Unlike Robert, they got forced to be where he was and tricked. I volunteered to become a U.S. Marine. Not too bright. during the time they had this situation going on that everyone know about, they call Vietnam. And I always reflect back and thinking in terms of before we even went to Vietnam, we would watch TV, radio, newspapers, seeing where people were killed, coming back maimed, not wrapped too tight. And then I still volunteered, knowing as a Marine, and the country strategy was to keep your so-called tough Marines up north, near this area they call the DMZ, which is the militarized zone. So the country strategy, the people in the Pentagon and the real White House and whatever, they say, okay, if any of the so-called enemies come across the DMZ, they're going to have to run into them bad Marines, and Marines going to kill up every damn thing that move, so it won't be that much for the folks down south, the Army, whoever down there, to do. Well, they had this smart guy over there named Ho Chi Minh. We used to call him Uncle Ho. Uncle Ho knew where the Marines were. That's their country. So what Uncle Ho do? Uncle Ho packed up their water buffaloes and women and cows and trucks and whatever, took all the ammo and gear into Cambodia and Laos, which Marines was not supposed to go into, which is the bordering country, and still went down south and did what he wanted to do. I was on this hill called 190 in Vietnam, and what our responsibility was was to go out basically to find somebody to kill. And can't sugarcoat it, because that's exactly what we was doing. We would go out every other night, and for a time we wouldn't get any kills. We called it getting kills. I couldn't understand the reason why. Well, being dumb behind Marines, trying to be high and tight even in the war, in the jungle. Unlike Robert, I wasn't on mechanized anything. I was on foot in the rice paddies, okay. I didn't see no cars, and the only thing we saw water buffaloes and the little area we was in. Anyway, we had this guy cutting our hair and giving us our high and tight haircuts, and he was a Vietnamese. And he would take smell good aftershave or whatever and put on our heads, right? Like they do in regular barbershops. Right? Not knowing that this guy was an NVA lieutenant colonel. Enemy, NVA. The stuff you put on our head, you put a squad of Marines out in the jungle where you got the smell of death, dead bodies, decaying bodies, water buffalo stuff. You could smell us. So we go out there smelling like Harlem sissies. So they knew exactly where we were. So they just simply, Marines, they go somewhere else. So we wasn't getting any kills. Well, we found out that's what he did. He lost his health. I'll just leave it at that. He lost his health. I remember some things I remember, some I don't want to remember.
I walked point 6.5 months.
Dumbass.
Yeah. I was in front of the dog. I never understood that. They say, well, you're expendable, the dog.
Yeah, like y'all protecting them APCs.
Yeah.
And that's machine and you bodies.
Right. They would be behind us. Like he said, somebody, what'd you say? He didn't ride like me. Well, we rode, but then we got off and walked like we was crazy. We walked like we were crazy. The Army is just walking. We rode so far, and we started walking. You get on a helicopter, they call it the Eagle flight. They take you so far, and you get off, and they gone, and now you walking, you know.
They
But
don't want to destroy the machinery.
Yeah, right.
But we expendable. We ain't worth $50 million
No, we wouldn't.
to the government. That's
Yeah.
what time it is.
I started getting worried, you know. I said, damn. After 6 months, I said, damn, I've been here 6 months. Because I went over there saying, I ain't coming back. I know I'm getting killed. And after 6 months, I started getting worried. I said, what the hell? 6 more months, I'm out of here. I started getting worried then.
That's a short timer's attitude.
I started dropping back, you know. I don't want to walk point no more, you know. The third guy was carrying a machine gun, the M60. I started carrying that for him. I carried that for a month, the M60. And I didn't really like carrying that, you know. I'd rather carry my M16. So I gave that up, and I kept falling back. I kept falling back till I was the last one.
Now you tell them, Charlie.
I'm with everybody in front of me, and I'm walking, protecting the rear, looking behind me, and whew, it was something else. It was a hell of an experience, I tell you that.
It was nothing for us to win. It was just a matter of us being fortunate to come back alive. And they got 58,300 some names in this area in Washington, D.C., in a structure they called the Wall that didn't make it back. Robert and I was there. You know, Nancy, we was there for the honor flight.
Yeah.
And to go down there and to be among them and not see our name on there. Like I say, you know you're alive when you wake up in the morning, you can read the obituary and don't see your name, okay? Coming home. Robert got to come home different than me. I got medevac from Vietnam. I tell you, I had this malaria that almost took me out the game over there on a serious tip.
Can you imagine being in a war zone with a weapon in your hand? Okay, April the 15th, 68. No, it was April the 15th, 69. I'm in Vietnam. I got a rifle in my hand. April the 15th, 69, I was in Chicago.
Where your
walking
rifle?
the street
Where your rifle?
without the weapon. Because see, over there, they're a day ahead of us or something. Half a day or something.
Yeah.
And
12 hours difference.
I'm over there with the rifle. I get the word, hey, you can go home now. I turn the weapon in, get on the plane, fly back to Travis Air Force Base, then catch a plane to Chicago. It's still April the 15th, because we flew back into time, or so to speak. You know, I left there in Vietnam April 15th, and I came back to the States April 15th. Now I'm walking the street saying I know a weapon in my hand. I felt funny. This is like the same day.
You feel funny, ha ha? A funny peculiar.
Oh boy, don't shoot no firecrackers, man.
July 10, 2019. Somehow or another, all three of us got to go together. My friend Charles that I was on the police department with, and Robert, my mate, from grammar school. So we're all of us together going on and fly Chicago. So we arrived at Midway Airport. 0400 hours we had to be there. We probably were there a little earlier. From 0400 until 22 or whatever it was we got back from DC, I just can't get the thought out of my mind. It was like God got together some of his best angels and said, I want you all to go to Chicago Midway Airport, be there before 0400, because that's the time I want those Vietnam veterans to be there. I want you all to set up, go get scenery for them when you get down there. And I want each one of you all to attach yourself to one of those veterans, and I want you to show that man the best time that he ever had in his life. Make him feel more important than he ever felt in his life. So each one of us had our own individual angel. I've never been treated with so much honor, dignity, and respect that you all gave us. From 0400 until we got back to Chicago, it was like I was in La La Land or something like that. I just could not believe there were human beings that cared enough about me and Robert.
I was there, and I can't explain. It was unexplainable. Like you say, these people was told by God to show us the best day of our life. I couldn't believe what was going on. I mean, it was even little kids. Thank you for your service. Yeah, little kids. Everybody was like happy to see us, and I'm saying, what's going on? You know.
We didn't receive that kind of respect. No. Well, number one, I got medevac back, so I was on a hospital flight. So I ended up in Great Lakes. I did not have people throwing chicken blood on me and shit, calling me a killer. You don't play that on a military base. Robert, on the other hand, he's getting off civilian flights where people out there protesting, killers, you know, all that dumb stuff that was going on. Hey, look, I went to Vietnam being a tough butt because I felt our country needed me to do something. Okay, I didn't complain about my damn feet was hurting and dodging the draft. I didn't do that. I did not do that. Okay, I was a young guy. My country said communism was bad. I didn't know what the hell communism was. I didn't know what it was then. I'm 73 years old. I still don't know what the hell communism is, okay? But I did. My country said communism is bad. If you don't go to Vietnam and stop communism from taking over, you're going to lose your freedom. Okay, hey, let me go help the country. I had enough heart, not even knowing what I was doing, not knowing that I'm putting myself in a situation where I may never come back. Because being a U.S. Marine, even Robert, we have 50% chance we're not going to come back.
I knew I would.
Or if we come back, we're going to be missing limbs or something. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't punk out. I didn't punk out then. I retired from doing law enforcement and officially in 2009. I was going to places to try and get my head together, like Robert, from dealing with subjects. And obviously we forgot about it because we're telling you about it now. The young people were very impressionable. So you're talking about young men being put into a situation, how in the hell are we going to forget it? You're not in Vietnam now? Yeah, but Vietnam is in us. You implanted that in us at a young age. How in the hell are we supposed to forget it? So we got our issues. They call it post-traumatic stress disorder. Robert, crazy as a damn road lizard. Me, my mind ain't worth two dead flies with their wings pulled off. But I still got enough heart. I got my lungs. I'm able to breathe. And I'm still trying to help as many people. I done gave you all cards already. I gave cards maybe to the guys if I don't.
Never stops working.
Talk about what you do. Talk about what you do right now.
Okay. 2006, while going through PTSD counseling, a guy came from Seattle, Washington named Sidney Lee, him and a group of other people formed an organization called the AA Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder Association. AA don't stand for Alcohol Anonymous, it stands for African American. Now, the way they got the name is not to just help African Americans. We help anybody. They help anybody. My job, I'm a national service officer. I help people all over the U.S. I travel a lot. I get calls from all everywhere. I'm supposed to be national, but I'm really international. I'm not boasting because I've helped guys that have told their friends that are still in Iraq, Iran, or wherever, hey, you got this big mouth dude named Blue to help us get clean. I think that the master kept me alive from Vietnam, and I got called up to that Desert Storm shit in 1990. I didn't go, thank God. But all the illnesses that I've been through, and with my mental capacity being like zero, but I'm still able to try and help somebody, I think that's my purpose. People have a purpose. I think God, think about it. God put us here for a purpose. Either make babies, have babies, to raise them to be presidents or whatever. We got a purpose. It ain't just by chance that that Robert and I together and you talking to us. You know, we got a court. Hey, don't interrupt me.
I was just a grunt who survived. Still trying to find out my purpose.
Yeah, your purpose is to be my mutt. We cannot allow our differences make us become indifferent to each other, because when we allow, this is just me, I ain't that bright, so scratch out whatever I'm talking about, but I feel that whenever we allow our differences make us become indifferent to each other and don't respect each other's differences, then we got a problem. Because if we allow our differences make us become indifferent to each other, then we don't care about the other person, whether they live, died, leave, stay, or whatever. I said, let's not let that happen. Get some education. But show respect for others. And respect yourself. You're lacking too much respect for yourself, and it's hard for you to try and respect somebody else if you don't have respect for yourself.
What he said.
What he said.